Our question to you this morning, do you know what healthy lifestyle changes are needed to reduce the risk of colon cancer? You can send us your voice notes or video call us on 065-862-4548. You can also share your thoughts with us on social media via Twitter using @SABC HealthTalk. After the break, we continue with our focus this week on colon cancer. We listen to two women who are survivors of colon cancer. Please stay with us. Colorectal cancer is the second most common cancer in men following prostate cancer and the third most common cancer in women following breast cancer and cervical cancer. Generally, colon cancer was known to affect older people, but in Africa, patients tend to present a decade younger. Recent advances in early detection, screenings and treatment options have reduced colorectal cancer mortality in developed nations, even in the face of growing incidence. I spoke to two women who are survivors of colon cancer. Let's listen to their survival stories. Lerato, thank you so much for sharing your story. When were you diagnosed with colon cancer and at what stage were you?
Okay, so I've just been recently diagnosed with colon cancer as recent as the 31st of July 2020. So mine is quite a recent one. It is on stage 3 as well, and that means that it actually moved to one lymph node, but luckily it hasn't moved over to other parts of the body.
So talk to me about the symptoms that saw you going to the hospital and being diagnosed. What were those?
Yeah. All right. So it's actually started around November, December last year. I felt a bit of discomfort in my stomach. I felt a lot bloated. The first time I actually went to casualty, right? And they told me, we'll do an X-ray. They obviously saw, the output was there, stuck, and they actually helped me let it out. And obviously just a lot of extreme pain in the abdomen, a lot of fatigue at that time. Luckily, I had not lost weight, so I had a lot of pain. And yeah, basically those were the symptoms. And I would in a space of a day, I would literally go to the toilet about 8 times. I would either have diarrhea or constipation on the one day, 8 times a day, but it changes from diarrhea to constipation. So it was quite discomforting.
Talk to me about the treatment options that were given to you and which one did you choose and if it's working for you.
For colorectal cancer patients that are on stage 3, they actually look at a chemo radiation, which is a dual treatment, right? Which is 6 cycles of chemo for the duration of 1 week per month. And then I had 25 sessions of radiation, which meant every single day for 5 weeks I had to be at hospital. And I think that worked better for me. So I had an operation first, or the surgery as we call it, which is the laparotomy surgery. And then I went for the chemo, and I'm actually currently on chemo now.
Lerato, thank you so much for talking to us, and all the best with your chemo. We'll just keep you in our prayers and keep contact. We look forward to finding out at the end of your chemotherapy how you're doing, but well done so far. You are doing great. Thank you so much. Let's keep raising awareness.
Thank you so much.
After the break, we continue with our focus on colon cancer as we speak to the National Relationship Manager for Service Delivery at Cancer Association. Please stay with us. And she works closely with the NGO's colorectal campaign. Good morning, Kara, and welcome to Health Talk.
Hi, Zama, how are you? Thank you so much for having me today.
Awesome. Talk to us about this colorectal campaign. What does it entail, and what prompted you to start this campaign as Cancer Association?
Well, I think CANSA really tries to focus on the top 5 cancers per gender. And right now in South Africa, according to the National Cancer Registry, colorectal cancer is number 2 amongst African men and number 3 amongst women, which places it very high as a typically lifestyle cancer that people are actually having and are being diagnosed with. And I think there is a lot more awareness and availability of information for your more common cancers like your breast and your prostate and your cervical. But when it comes to colorectal, there just wasn't enough information out there. And therefore, CANSA really had to make a step up and to really put our focus on this area due to the fact that a lot of the symptoms and the actual diagnoses do not have to happen because people are not taking good care of themselves. And when we refer to a lifestyle cancer, it's basically meaning that it's basically saying that what you are doing is basically affecting your health. And that is why the importance is out there that if we can share this information to people, they can definitely make a change and they could hopefully reduce their risk of colorectal cancer. And this is why disseminating this information, having education programs, having the opportunity like this to be on TV, to have radio talks, etc. This is really an opportunity for us to reach as many people as possible to try and spread the word that if you make some good changes and have a better lifestyle, we can definitely reduce your risk of colorectal cancer.
You know, Kara, this year the world lost a young person, Chadwick Boseman, to colorectal cancer. He was 43 and he found out, I think it was at stage 3 or 4. And in the country we had my former colleague, Tolani Kwala, at 44, also succumbing to colorectal cancer. So we're seeing more younger people actually being diagnosed and actually dying from this type of cancer. From the work that you're doing, how is it looking and where are we lacking? Why are we finding out so late?
I think because people are not aware. And I think that just as Joanne, one of the survivors, mentioned previously, when she explained how she had irregular bowel movements, and then the same with Lerato as well. And one day she was constipated, you know, she was going to the bathroom numerous times. You must remember that colorectal cancer is not an overnight situation for people. It's something that's been happening for some time, and it's constant for a lot of people. It's constant, like kind of like abuse of your body. So a lot of people are not going to the bathroom regularly. People are maybe going once a week, and that is not a normal thing to happen. So what we're finding is that it's just the overall health of people. If you look at the diet of South Africans, our red meat intake, CANSA recommends only to have red meat twice a week as a maximum. We know so many South Africans are having a lot more red meat than that. A lot of patients are having a lot of white bread, very low fiber diets, not enough green leafy vegetables, etc. And I think that's the challenge, that it's kind of a South African culture that we love to drink a lot of alcohol, we love to eat a lot of red meat, and we don't actually have the healthiest lifestyle. And if you want to add on inactivity to that, where a lot of people are obese, Africa has very high obesity rates amongst children and adults, and also you can bring in poverty as well. A lot of people don't have access to better quality food, and therefore they can only afford processed foods and poorer quality foods because that is what they can do to feed their families. So there are absolutely huge challenges that people are facing out there, and in order to live a healthy lifestyle. That is why things like your vegetable gardens and those community programs are so important to give people access. But I think literally right now in South Africa, it all boils down to lifestyle. If you do have a family risk in your family, for example, if a family member close to you has had colorectal cancer, that does put you at a higher risk. It doesn't matter if it was your mother or your father. Colorectal cancer is not gender specific. But the reality is that one of the biggest causes of colorectal cancer is really lifestyle and how we're treating our bodies.
Kara, thank you so much for talking to us, and also we commend you for the work that you're doing. It's incredible, and we need more now than ever to just push this awareness campaign. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And if anyone would like some support, please, they could contact us on 0800 22 6622. This is telephonic counseling service. We are there to offer support to colorectal cancer patients and any cancer patients and their loved ones going through this difficult road of cancer. We can be there to support you.
Thank you so much, Cara. We'll just keep putting your numbers on screen as we go ahead with the program.